morning, good afternoon, good evening. We have said on this platform that Zimbabwe is a failed state. There are many reasons why Zimbabwe is a failed state. And one of those reasons has to be that Zimbabwe seems to be cursed with intellectuals who have got this knack for falsifying the truth for the purposes of promoting the leaders. ZANU-PF dictators from Mugabe, Mnangagwa himself, and now VP Chiwenga have never had any problems recruiting intellectuals who bend over backwards to praise them and falsify the facts. What I could only call selling their own mothers for a price, and even have the guts to boast that they had a mother to sell. To those of you who have been active on social media, this gentleman here, Pastor Isaac Makomichi, has been promoting the VP Chiwenga to no end. In this video clip, he is at it. I'll just play the video clip.
Madiro ari kuitwa VP Chiwenga nevanhuka akafani kudiwa kwaitwa umudhala wetu Joshua Ngomo naMorgan Tsvangirai vakabatanidzwa vari 2 ndo madiro ari kuitwa VP Chiwenga nevanhu. VP Chiwenga vari kurira, VP Chiwenga vari kudiwa. Ende nyaya yacho haisimbori kuti kwanzi kuvada tiri Chiwenga umwe munhu. Tongovada because vanotsigira zvido zvinhu. Senge ipapa tiri kuti table 3 hatisi kuida bhoza ina referendum. Vanenge vachitisapota tichiti 1 man 1 vote vanenge vachitisapota. Fact yekuti vanenge vachisapota vanhu vachimira nevanhu ndonyaya yatiri kuvadira. Aiwa mukanya vari kudiwa, mukanya vari kudiwa zvimwe zvekutika. Samwe atombotiti hey saka vanoda mukanya vanovenga ningeri. Hapana anenge akavengwa. It's only kuti vanhu vanoziva munhu anomira navo, vanhu vanoda munhu anomira navo. Whoever anoda kudiwa semadiro vari kuitwa VP Chiwenga zvekuita zviri simple, mira nevanhu. Chiwenga ari kudiwa. Aiwa madiro waitwa Morgan Tsvangirai ukamabatanidza nemadiro waitwa Joshua Ngomo ndo madiro vari kuitwa VP Chiwenga nevanhu. Mukanya vari kudiwa. Aiwa mukanya vari kupisa.
Mukanya vari kupisa. Ben, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Robert. Good day to everybody. Thank you for joining us. You know, the biggest problem or issue with continuously, falsifying information is that you, the speaker, you end up actually believing and convincing yourself that your lies are actually the truth. I mean, for me, how, the Chiwenga, faction came into effect was through Comrade Bombshell Gesa. I mean, he actually was one of the engineers, or let's say the pioneers of this whole Chiwenga, VP Chiwenga to be the next president. It came to be. And he told so many good things and why he wanted, Chiwenga to be the next, number one, the next president. But even after saying so much, trying to cleanse his name, trying to clear his image, Zimbabweans did not buy it. And that's why you find every time when he, gave dates to for marches or stairways or for the people of Zimbabwe to revolt, the people of Zimbabwe chose not to. They didn't follow up on that command. And eventually he became, it became obvious that the people of Zimbabwe were not supporting the idea. Now here comes Makomichi and he's saying that he was loved more than, Joshua Nkomo and Changirai put together. I mean, we know these characters and men, they were loved at different points, but they were, they did have followers. And when they spoke, people listened. Comparing, Chiwenga to these men, this is where I was saying, and it brings me to the first point that I said in my introduction. When you lie to yourself continuously, you yourself are in danger of actually believing your own lies. And I think this is where Makomichi is at. He's become delusional to what is facts and fiction.
I think the starting point here should be for the people to accept that as much as many Zimbabweans out there do not like this constitutional amendment bill number 3 for the stated fact that it's seeking to give Emerson Mnangagwa to extend his stay in office beyond 2028. We should not be so narrow-minded that we only look at that aspect and ignore the rest of history. We have to understand that Mnangagwa is in State House. How he got there. He got there on the cocktails of the military coup of 2017. The people did not have a say in that. Who orchestrated the military coup? Chiwenga and his fellow colleagues in the army. Following the coup, the nation was assured that there would be free, fair, and credible elections. Not even one token reform was implemented. Mnangagwa rigged the 2018 elections and went on to rig the 2023 elections. Who helped him rig those elections? Chiwenga. Chiwenga cannot deny that he played his role. He played his role in the coup of 2017 and was rewarded with the position of VP. He played his role in the 2018 and 2023 elections. And he also was rewarded with the position of VP. Those things had nothing to do with the people. Was Was he doing the people's will? Of course not. The biggest danger here is being so myopic that you focus on one issue and filter out the rest, because it gives you a distorted image. Chiwenga is not a saint. He never was a saint. He is on record saying categorically that he believes that ZANU-PF should rule kusvika madhonga amira nyanga. This is the doctrine that has underlined the ZANU-PF dictatorship. Chiwenga himself has completely subscribed to that doctrine. Here he is speaking on that very issue.
Kana zani chitonga, ZANU-PF chitonga, kusvikira madhonga anenge amera nyanga. Kana mutemo wacho futi tinochinja wakaramba achiita nharo. Toti ndo watinoda kusvikira amera.
That is the real Chiwenga. And just because he doesn't like the one aspect of Mnangagwa staying in office beyond 2028 should not fool us into believing that he's a Democrat. Chiwenga is not a Democrat.
The moment for me, that Chiwenga crossed the line was when he said that even if Zimbabwe was to go through an election and somebody that is not a war veteran or doesn't have war credentials wins, he himself took the army as if it was his personal property and said, we will not salute the outcome. To me, that showed this man is no Democrat. Elections are being done academically. Let's just show the world that we are doing it or we are practicing it. It doesn't matter even if it's free, fair, or credible, as long as we show the image that we are participating. And then obviously we knew that it was through him and the army that they would rig and twist the elections. And this was also very evident when he deployed the army in 2008 to go and butcher and people that had voted against ZANU-PF through Operation Mafotera Papi. And then you can fast forward when he became, vice president, and on the other hand, he became a minister of health, where we all know that our nurses were getting peanuts and are still getting peanuts. And when they decided to show their frustration with their employer, instead of negotiating with the nurses, he took it upon himself to fire the whole country's nurses. That will just show that this man is no Democrat. This man can never be talked to. It will obviously be his way or the highway. And with these images, I believe this is why the children of Zimbabwe refused to support his faction through the Geza revolution. So again, one will have to wonder where Isaac Makomichi is coming up with that conclusion to say he is loved. He is loved more than Changirai and Nkomo put together. I think that is far from the truth. And unfortunately, this man has been saying, and I have been following him, ha- his posts and everything. You can believe he believes it because he has been lying to himself for so long. And that's a very, very dangerous position to be in.
My last words on this one is that as a people, we can't keep going round and round in circles. We have to define what is it we want. And in this particular case, after 46 years of this ZANU-PF dictatorship, we have to accept that the system, the political system, the dictatorship has failed, and have a clear idea of what we need to do to change it. The main reason why Zimbabwe is in this political mess is because we have a regime, ZANU-PF thugs, who believe that they have the divine right to rule the country. And they've shown again and again that they're even prepared to kill to impose that right. People like Mnangagwa, Chiwenga, Mugabe, they have all committed serious human rights abuses in Zimbabwe for the sake of keeping power. And we can only end it by seeking to end to dismantle the whole ZANU-PF dictatorship itself. We made a mistake in 2017 in thinking that removing Mugabe and replacing him with Mnangagwa will solve the problem. It did not. We were just swapping one dictator for another, when what we needed is to end the dictatorship itself. We are now fighting to end the ZANU-PF dictatorship, and for the nation to allow itself to be sidetracked and believe that removing Mnangagwa and replacing him with Chiwenga will solve our problem is to fail to read from history. People like Pastor Isaac Makomichi is articulate and by all account an intellectual. Why he is failing to see the folly of repeating the same mistake beggars belief. But we have seen this happen many times with other intellectuals. The tragedy for Zimbabwe is that dictators have had no problems in the past of recruiting intellectuals, very articulate, to do their dirty work, of cleansing their tarnished image to give the impression to the people that they are squeaky clean. The only rational explanation one can have why these intellectuals have undertaken this work. It's because they've been rewarded. It is tragic that Zimbabwean intellectuals have shown again and again that they have the knack to sell their own mother for a price, and even turn around and boast that they had a mother to sell. VP Chiwenga is a ZANU-PF thug. His history throughout has shown that he is a ZANU-PF thug. For anyone to seek to replace him, to replace Mnangagwa with VP Chiwenga, only goes to show that we've learned nothing from the past. We want to end the dictatorship and not just swap one dictator for another. That is the message that the people of Zimbabwe should take home today. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.